Today we're doing things a little bit differently.
A little different, yeah.
We're going to break down a topic that might seem kind of complicated at first. How a bill becomes a law in the U.S.
Yeah.
But here's the catch.
The twist.
We're going to explain it like we're talking to an 11-year-old.
That's right.
So get ready for a super simplified version of civics.
You know, think of it this way.
Yeah.
We're giving you the cheat sheet to explain this to your niece or nephew or your curious kid.
Right.
You know, without like boring them to tears.
Exactly.
We'll hit the main points and keep it fun.
Exactly.
But don't worry, we're not sacrificing accuracy.
For sure.
We're just, cutting out the really, really complex stuff.
Okay, so let's imagine your kid comes home from school one day
Mm-hmm.
and asks, how does a bill become a law?
Oh, that's a good question.
Right.
Yeah, where do we even begin?
Like, where do we even start?
Well, it all starts with an idea. And what's cool is that anyone can have an idea for a law.
Oh, really?
Like anybody.
Your neighbor, your teacher, even you.
Wow.
Maybe you think your town needs more bike paths.
Okay.
Or that kids should get to choose their bedtime once a week.
Ooh.
A kid can dream right.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
That's a pretty awesome bedtime law.
Right.
But I'm guessing not every idea can just magically become a rule.
That is a great point.
Right. Exactly.
You can't just snap your fingers and be like, I want this to be a law.
Yeah, you can't just wish it into existence.
Exactly.
To make an idea into a law, it needs to become a bill.
Okay.
A bill is like a formal proposal,
Mhm.
a written document that says, hey, we should make this a law.
Okay. Got it.
And the people who introduce these bills
Yeah.
are called members of Congress.
Oh.
They're kind of like the class representatives for the whole country.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
So we've got our amazing idea.
Mm?
Our member of Congress has turned it into a bill.
Yep.
What happens next?
So,
Does it automatically become a law?
no, not quite.
Okay.
It has to go through a whole obstacle course before it can become official.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah.
An obstacle course. What does that look like?
So the first stop is a committee.
A committee.
Yeah.
What's a committee?
It's like a smaller group of Congress members
Okay.
who are experts on certain topics.
Oh, so like if our bill is about bike paths,
Yeah,
it would go to the transportation committee.
exactly.
And if it's about bedtime, it goes to the
Right.
sleep committee? I don't know.
The sleep committee, that's a good one.
They need a sleep committee.
Maybe they need a sleep committee. We should propose that.
Yeah.
You got each committee
Yeah.
focuses on specific issues.
Okay.
And they get to review the bill,
Mm-hmm.
make changes, and basically decide if it's worth sending to the next level.
So they really have an important job then.
A very important job.
What kind of stuff do these committees actually do?
So they hold hearings. Yeah, where they invite people to come and talk about the bill.
Oh, interesting.
Kind of like doing a research project for school where you interview people who know a lot about your topic.
I see.
These hearings help the committee members understand the bill better and see what other people think about it.
So it's like a fact-finding mission
Exactly.
to make sure the bill makes sense
Yeah,
and that it'll actually work if it becomes a law.
exactly.
Oh.
And they also mark up the bill,
Markup?
which just means they make edits and changes.
Oh.
Think of it like revising your essay based on feedback from your teacher or a friend.
Gotcha. So the committees are like the editors,
Yes.
making sure that the bill is in tip-top shape before it moves on to the next stage.
Exactly. It's a floor debate.
Ooh, the floor debate.
This is where things get really interesting.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Imagine your class is having a debate about whether or not to have a pizza party every Friday.
Okay. I'm already on board.
Some kids will be totally for it.
Yeah.
Others might be against it. And there might even be some who want pizza, but only with extra cheese.
I'm definitely team extra cheese.
Right.
Always extra cheese.
So how does this class debate relate to our bill becoming a law?
Yeah, good question.
Well, the floor debate is basically like a giant class discussion.
Mm-hmm.
But with all the members of Congress,
Wow, okay.
they get to share their opinions on the bill, argue for or against it, and propose changes called amendments.
So it's like a giant brainstorming session where everybody gets to weigh in on the bill.
Exactly, and just like in a class debate,
Yeah.
things can get pretty heated sometimes.
Really?
People are passionate about their ideas.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll fight hard to convince others to see their point of view.
It's serious business.
It is.
I bet those debates can get pretty intense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Especially when you're talking about really important issues.
And sometimes senators who really disagree with a bill use a tactic called a filibuster.
A filibuster?
Yeah, have you heard of that?
I think so. But remind me what it is.
So imagine your little brother trying to avoid bedtime. by talking non-stop.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of what a filibuster is like.
I see.
Senators can talk for hours and hours, sometimes even reading from a cookbook, just to delay a vote on the bill.
Wow. That's a sneaky but effective way to try to stop a bill you don't like.
It is, right?
But how does it ever end?
Well, eventually they have to move on to the next stage, which is voting.
Okay.
Just like in a class election or deciding what game to play at recess, the members of Congress get to vote on whether or not they want the bill to become a law.
Voting time.
Yay.
Make your voice heard.
It's like when your teacher finally says, okay, class time to vote on whether we should have a pizza party or an ice cream party.
Ooh, pizza party for sure.
Right.
But yeah, I get it.
Okay, cool.
So how does the voting in Congress actually work? Do they raise their hands?
No.
Use secret ballots?
They use electronic voting these days.
Oh, wow. Fancy.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Each member gets to press a button to say yay if they agree with the bill, nay if they disagree, or present if they want to sit this one out.
So it's like saying, I'm here, but I don't really have a strong opinion either way.
Exactly. And just like in your class, vote the side with the most votes wins.
Majority rules.
Majority rule. If a majority of the Congress says yeah, the bill moves on to the next step.
Okay, so the bill has passed the House and the Senate. Does that mean it's officially a law?
Not quite.
Okay, there's more.
There's one very important person who still needs to weigh in.
Who's that?
The President of the United States.
Oh, of course, the president.
Think of the president like the principal of the school.
Okay.
They have the final say on whether or not a new rule gets put in place.
So the bill goes to the president's desk.
Yep.
What can they do with it?
They have a few options.
Okay.
They can sign the bill, which means they approve it and it officially becomes a law. Or they can veto the bill, which is like saying, nope, not happen.
Oh, so back to the drawing board if the president vetoes the bill.
Not always.
Okay.
Congress has a chance to override the president's veto.
Oh, really?
But it's not easy. They need a supermajority.
A supermajority? What's that?
Which means 2/3 of both the House and the Senate have to vote yay to make the bill a law.
Wow.
Even without the president's signature.
So they can overrule the president?
They can,
Yeah.
like the ultimate comeback.
That's pretty cool.
It is, right?
But I guess that also shows how important it is for the Congress and the president to work together.
Absolutely. It's a system of checks and balances, making sure no one person has too much power.
I see.
Now, let's say the bill does become law.
Yeah.
What happens then?
Well, it needs to be shared with everybody, right? Like posting the new school rules on the bulletin board.
Yes.
So that all the students know what's up.
You got it. Once a bill becomes a law, it's like a big announcement for the whole country. It gets published online and in special books so everyone can understand the new rules.
Got it.
It's like the official rule book for the United States, constantly being updated with new laws.
So basically it's official.
It's official.
And it's part of the whole system of laws that govern the country.
Exactly. Now that we've walked through this entire process from idea to law,
Yeah,
do you think you could explain it to an 11-year-old?
I think so.
Okay, good.
Breaking it down like this with all the school analogies
Yeah.
really helps.
Right.
It's not as complicated as it seemed at first.
Yeah.
And it's actually pretty fascinating to see how it all works.
It is. And, understanding this process can even empower kids to get involved in their own communities.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How so?
Well, if there's something they care about,
Yeah.
maybe improving their local park or making school lunches healthier, they can actually reach out to their representatives and share their ideas.
Oh, wow.
They can even encourage their friends and family to do the same.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So even though kids can't vote yet,
Right.
they can still have a voice in shaping the laws that affect their lives.
They can.
Speaking of kids having a voice,
Yeah.
it makes me wonder,
But it makes you wonder,
what if kids could vote?
Ooh,
How do you think that would change how laws are made?
that's a really interesting question.
Right.
If kids had the power to vote,
Yeah,
politicians would definitely have to pay more attention to issues that matter to young people.
for sure.
Imagine campaign speeches
Uh-huh.
focused on improving school lunches
Okay, yeah.
or creating more safe spaces for kids to play.
I could totally see that.
Right.
It'd be interesting to see how, the priorities of our elected officials might shift if they knew they had to win over the younger generation.
You would definitely shake things up.
Yeah, for sure.
Things like education policy,
Yeah.
environmental protection, even healthcare. These issues could take center stage.
Right.
Because they directly impact kids' lives.
Exactly.
Politicians would have to listen to what kids care about
Yeah.
and come up with solutions that work for them too.
Right, because let's face it,
Yeah,
kids have a huge stake in the future.
they do.
So their voices deserve to be heard.
Absolutely.
Maybe we'd see more laws focused on like long-term solutions
Yeah,
instead of just quick fixes.
exactly. Thinking about this scenario really highlights how the lawmaking process,
Yeah.
at its core,
Mm-hmm.
should reflect the needs and desires of all citizens, young and old.
For sure.
It's a reminder that even though kids can't vote yet,
Yeah.
they can still make a difference by speaking up, sharing their ideas, and getting involved in their communities.
Absolutely. And hey, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe someday in the future we will see kids at the voting booths making their voices heard directly.
That would be amazing.
Right.
Yeah. Until then, it's up to all of us to keep learning about the lawmaking process, staying engaged, and encouraging the next generation to do the same.
Well said.
Oh, thanks.
I think we've successfully demystified the journey of a bill becoming a law,
Yeah.
making it clear and engaging even for our younger listeners.
Mission accomplished.
Yes.
So next time you hear someone talking about bills committees or even filibusters,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be ready to drop some knowledge.
You got it.
And maybe even inspire some future lawmakers along the way.
That's the goal.
That's what we like to hear.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of lawmaking.
Yes, thank you so much for listening, everybody.
We'll catch you next time on the deep dive.
It makes me wonder what,
What if like kids could actually vote?
yeah,
Like how would that?
how would that change things?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it would change things a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, if kids had the power to vote,
Mm-hmm.
politicians would definitely have to pay way more attention
Yeah.
to issues that matter to young people.
Like, can you imagine
Trying to imagine.
campaign speeches
Yeah.
that were focused on, like, improving school lunches?
That
Or,
works.
like,
yeah.
creating more safe spaces for kids to play?
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Right.
Like, it'd be so interesting to see how the priorities
Mhm.
of our elected officials might change
Right.
if they had to appeal to younger voters,
It would definitely shake things up.
for sure.
Things like education policy,
Mhm.
environmental protection, healthcare.
Right.
All these issues could take center stage
Totally.
because they directly impact kids' lives.
Yeah, exactly.
Politicians would have to actually listen to what kids care about
Right.
and come up with solutions that work for them.
Yeah, because let's be real.
Yeah,
Kids have a huge stake in the future.
they do.
Their voices deserve to be heard.
Absolutely.
Like maybe we'd see more laws focused on long-term solutions instead of just like Band-Aid fixes.
Exactly. And thinking about this scenario really highlights how the lawmaking process at the core
Mhm.
should reflect the needs and desires of all citizens,
Mhm.
young and old.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's a good reminder that even though kids can't vote yet,
Yeah,
they can still make a difference
totally.
by speaking up, sharing their ideas, getting involved in their communities.
Absolutely. And who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe someday in the future we will see kids at the voting booths making their voices heard.
that would be amazing.
Right.
Yeah, it would be great.
So until then, it's up to all of us to keep learning about how these laws are made.
Yes.
Stay engaged and encourage the next generation to do the same.
Well said.
Oh, thank you.
I think we've done a good job here.
I think so too.
We've really broken it down,
Yeah,
demystified this whole journey of how a bill becomes a law,
definitely.
made it clear and engaging,
Yeah.
even for our younger listener.
Mission accomplished.
Yes, mission accomplished.
I love it. So
So next time you hear somebody
Yeah.
talking about bills or committees or filibusters, right?
you'll be ready to jump in.
I'll be right.
You'll know what's up.
Yeah, and maybe even inspire some future lawmakers along the way.
That's the goal.
That's what we'd like to hear.
So thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of lawmaking.
Yes, thank you all so much for listening.
And we'll catch you next time on The Deep Dive.